Okay, in this video, I'll go over the optimism-pessimism rule. And to begin, you need to find for yourself a value for A. So here's one way to do that. First, ask yourself, which rule do you like better? The maxi-max rule or the maxi-min rule? That is, which are you more inclined to use? So just to remind ourselves, if we're following the maxi-min rule, we identify the lowest value outcome for each option. So -15, -7, and -4. And then of those minimums, we pick the option that's associated with the highest of them. So the highest is going to be this -4. So following the maxi-min rule, we would choose option 3. Now, if you're following the maxi-max rule, you identify the highest valued outcome for each option. So that's going to be 20, 14, and 8. And we pick the option that's associated with the highest of those highest outcomes. So that's going to be option 1. Or for this rule, actually, since it's the highest of the highest valued outcomes for each option, we can just look across the whole decision table and find the highest valued outcome and then go directly to that option. Okay, so anyway, those are kind of the two bookends for making decisions when we have a decision problem under ignorance or uncertainty. So next, let's think about this. So if you were going to create a rule that was in between or a compromise between maxi-max or maxi-min, actually that should be and, would you want it to be closer in spirit to maxi-max or closer in spirit to maxi-min? Okay, so let's just imagine we have a spectrum here. On this end of the spectrum is 100% maxi-min. So if this is your rule, let's say you're the type of person who has an umbrella even when it's sunny out. You like to play it safe. On the other end of our spectrum, we have 100% maxi-max. Okay, and so there's going to be a midpoint here somewhere. Okay, so then the idea is to place yourself somewhere on this spectrum. Are you, say, over halfway and getting kind of close to maxi-max, or are you closer to maxi-min, somewhere down here, say? So for myself, let's say that I'm right here. I have to make up a lot of these examples, and so you might notice that my value for A isn't always the same because I want the examples to be different, but I think right here is pretty reasonable, on the play it safe side, but pretty close to the middle. Now, if we put some numbers on our spectrum, we'll say that this is 0 and this is 1. So this is 0.5. So let's say that this point that I chose is 0.4. So for me, A is 0.4. Okay, now to use the rule, the optimism-pessimism rule, we need to calculate what we call an A index for each option. Okay, so we can set it up this way. Right here, we're going to put A, whatever it is, and over here, we're going to put 1 minus A. So for me, that's 0.4, and then 1 minus A is going to be 0.6. And then right here, we want to put the max outcome, the highest valued outcome for option 1. So that's going to be 20. And here we want the minimum valued outcome for option 1, which is negative 15. Okay, and then the same for the other two options. Okay, for option 2, the max is 14. The minimum is negative 7. For option 3, the max is 8. The minimum is negative 4. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Then you just have to do the math and find, for these three options, the one that has the highest A index. So 0.4 times 20 plus 0.6 times negative 15, negative 1, 0.4 times 14, 0.6 times negative 7, 0.4 times 0.8, 0.6 times negative 4, okay, so then the highest of our results is the 1.4. So therefore, okay. Now, of course, you can have, and many people will, have a different A value. So let's just look at how one other calculation would go. Okay, so for this decision problem, all of this will stay the same. Let's say that A equals 0.7. So that means we're going to have 0.7 in these spots, and 1 minus our A value is going to be 0.3. Okay, then we're good to go with another series of calculations. Okay, now the highest A value is 9.5 for option 1. So if A is 0.7 for this decision problem, then we would choose option 1. Okay.